There's an old fable about boiling a frog to death. A frog adapts to temperature change, but it will immediately avoid drastic changes. So by very slowly heating the water in this pot, the frog is gradually changing and adjusting to its surroundings. Now this change happens so slowly that the frog doesn't even realize that it's boiling to death. Now I want you to keep this little fable in your mind because it can kind of correlate to us. It's only natural that we don't like change, but changes are coming. What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel where I talk and do everything pinball. So if that sounds interesting to you, then hit that subscribe button down below. Now, what change is coming? That change is Stern's Insider Connected, the upcoming digital profit powerhouse for all the Spike 2 games. This device will give you a number of benefits, but if you think that they've spent the last 2 years developing a piece of hardware just to make you happy, you are sadly mistaken. Now, what have you been asking to be put into your modern pinball machines? The ability to update your game's code using the internet, like Wi-Fi, right? Now, Stern heard you, and they could have done this honestly a good while ago. But why sell you a piece of hardware that gives you just that, when they could spend a couple of years developing a new platform, and that would essentially gain them continuous revenue for years to come? So that is what they've done. Stern's new hardware will be installed in every new game release, starting with Godzilla and forward. And this is one of the reasons why they say their price increase is valid, because of this hardware that they are installing in these games. But Cary, what if I don't want the Insider Connected? That's irrelevant because the hardware will be there anyways for you to try. Think of it kind of like a drug dealer giving out a free sample. It's there for you to possibly get hooked. What if I don't want my machine connected to the internet? That's fine. You won't be required to be connected to the internet for updating your machine's code. For now, at least. Okay, I've mentioned how this hardware will be installed from the factory from all their upcoming new releases, including all the older Spike 2 games that won't be released until after the first of the year. But what about the games that have already left the factory? This isn't a required piece of hardware, so if you don't have the Insider Connected and you don't want it, then don't worry about it. This will not affect you yet. But if you want to be part of the online experience, then that's where you call your distributor and get this piece of hardware for your machine. Now, that's the initial hit to your wallet, but what about this continuous revenue that I mentioned earlier? That's where Stern's really going to be diving into what a lot of gaming companies have been doing for years, and that's microtransactions. First thing you will need to do if you want to take advantage of the connected system is create an Insider account for free. Then you will have the ability to scan your own personal QR code on any connected Stern game. Congratulations, you will be in the club. Then you can join in on all the conversations online or in person with other pinball enthusiasts talking about these cool perks and badges and achievements. Now, you won't be able to really understand some of the perks and features that people are talking about because you settled for the free account. Why? Why would you settle for the free account? Why would you do something like that when you could go pro? If you go pro, then you will have all these extra features and perks and stuff like that, and new modes and code updates that wouldn't be available to the free users. Now, the pro account will be a monthly fee, but if you pay it annually, it's going to be a little bit cheaper. But that is the continuous revenue that I was talking about. Now, the pro account is completely optional, guys. So if you want to stay with your free account, you can. But if you think that Stern's just gonna let you just have your free account by not pushing you to go pro, push may be a harsh word, encourage you to go pro, then you're also, again, sadly mistaken. Now let's dive a little bit deeper into these inevitable microtransactions. Now, more than likely, these microtransactions will be, a lot of them are going to be cosmetic. Cosmetic? How so? Now, what if you scanned your QR code? And instead of it just being the regular color with your initials in there, it brought up like a background image, for instance, maybe even your own personal face, or a library of images that you can select on your Insider Connected application. You could do that. I mean, it might cost you $1 or $2, but you could do that. Now, what if you wanted some kind of fancy border around your initial badge, you know, whenever it shows you on that machine? And you could have that also. It might cost you $1 or $2, but you could have it. Do you see where I'm going with this? I mean, the possibilities are essentially endless. Now, what would be even better for Stern is if they gave you all these perks and cosmetic features that you could attach to your name, but they were only accessible if your account was pro activated. So meaning if you let your account go into the free version, you would lose all of those cosmetics because your pro account would be inactive. Stern has already talked about a lot of the features that are going to be implemented in this piece of hardware, but they've also mentioned that they've only basically shown us the tip of the iceberg. This brings us to that frog that is slowly heating up. Stern is going to be adding all sorts of things down the road, but it's going to be let out slowly so we can adapt. Do you guys remember when Netflix was only like $6 a month? How much are you paying for Netflix now? See what I mean? Now understand, guys, I'm not telling you this stuff because I disagree with what they're doing or think that it's wrong. I'm just trying to make you aware. Do you think I'm not susceptible to digital cosmetics and everything when it comes to video games? No, I am ashamed of how much money I have thrown at digital cosmetics when it comes to games. And a lot of you out there that play modern video games should be well versed in what Stern is going to be rolling out. Most of which is going to be good, especially for operators. Online updates, so you no longer have to deal with the USB drive and opening the back glass and getting back there with all that. That will be a thing of the past. Achievements and badges, things to basically increase the longevity of your game, giving you more things to accomplish and the ability to compare your progress with other people, including your friends. Remote troubleshooting, meaning that you could call Stern. They could remote into your machine and help you troubleshoot through any issues that you have. Software Integrity Verification, or SIV, meaning Stern will now know whenever your code has unauthorized audio or video clips installed. This is going to be cracking down you individuals out there trying to make your game in your own home more enjoyable. I mean, after spending $8K on something, you think you might be able to make it your own, but no. These are merely just a few things that will be coming your way. Now, this platform is going to take a bit to get some momentum. Parts shortage is not a joke. But with each new game release, they will be getting closer and closer to this being the new normal. Now, I know some of you out there don't like the sound of this. You don't want your machine connected to the internet. What's so hard about using a USB drive? Why charge us extra for a machine because you're implementing hardware that you don't even want or want to use? I get it. But times are changing. For better? For worse? Well, I guess we'll just have to keep adjusting and see where things go.